Either way, welcome back. Brand new podcast. We're here. You got me. You got Devan. Boom. Get right back on him because I honestly don't know where to start. I don't know where to start at all. You got a lot of Week 18 games that didn't matter, but there were a couple that did matter. A couple that have a lot of narratives, a lot of things a lot of things that are topic worthy, discussion worthy. And then just some things that happen outside of the NFL world that was shocking or just interesting. And we got some things to talk about, Devan. We might as well just get right into these Week 18 games. We're not going to talk about all of them.
No.
We're not. Honestly, because...
We're going to skip past probably 8 or 9 of them.
Probably. But the ones we're going to talk about, there's plenty to discuss, Devan. Yeah. So, I mean, starting off Saturday...
We didn't talk about Saturday.
It was Cleveland and Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore wins the AFC North. I'm not going to lie. We're going to talk about predictions for, the playoffs next episode.
Mm-hmm.
But just looking back on this game against Cleveland, I didn't really love the way we looked.
No.
We looked a little sloppy.
Yeah, I think a little bit of it is what you guys deal with all the time, which is not bringing the A game against shit teams. The defense definitely showed up for them a little bit in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all locked in and took shit over. But it's just y'all trying to coast against a shit team that has a better defense than the record says.
It was 35-10. We looked sloppy, and we were still able to put up a 35-10 score. So
now Bailey Zappi was the quarterback. Jameis was a healthy scratch, no?
I think Jameis' time in Cleveland's just up.
I think it's up.
I think it's just up for bro. Maybe they just wanted to give other quarterbacks a chance.
Are they going back to the white quarterbacks?
Cleveland?
That worked out for him. Well, Baker, I guess that's fair.
No, it didn't work out with Baker in Cleveland at all.
He won a playoff game.
Yeah. Either way, the biggest thing from the Ravens and Browns game is honestly Zay. Because at first, I'm not gonna lie, Devan, I thought
you texted me immediately. You said ACL,
bro. I thought he was down for the count. I was 1 for 2 yesterday on ACLs. I got Green Bay earlier or later on, but this one. He just started to cut up field, and he goes down. Now, I didn't realize that what it seems like is it was after he went down and some type of collision or twist at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he went down because his knee kind of
because it was another
gave
contact.
out.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there grabbing onto, right below his kneecap, and I just started I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now it comes out that it's just a sprain.
Is it ACL sprain?
I don't remember. As of now, it's just knee sprain.
Knee sprain, yeah.
They haven't elaborated on anything else or in any other depth. But he's day-to-day. He's I guess right now questionable. If you're day-to-day, you're questionable. Yeah. I'd say more doubtful considering he was doubtful yesterday and now he's day-to-day. I don't really... I don't know. I'm expecting him to probably not play. We'll see. It is only Monday, so we'll see how his knee feels on Friday. I don't know.
You'll play on Friday.
But besides that, I guess the injuries that probably impacted their team a little bit more going into the playoffs is Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay lose. Now here's the problem. You can't call this game meaningless because...
No, it was of the games with playoff implications, because we could have lost that game. We were about to lose that game.
And
they easily could have won that game, but yeah, it definitely changed the 6 and the 7 seed up a little bit, but and looking back, the Packers game was meaningless, but during it, not really. But no, losing Christian sucks. I mean, an ACL injury now means he's out for.
Well, he tore his ACL. He's done.
He's out
But
for a lot of next year, probably.
He'll probably miss the beginning of next season as well. But I mean, you got Christian Watson tearing his ACL in a game that did matter. I mean, just like you said, if Dallas does end up winning that game against y'all and they flip it on Chicago, well, you got just different placement. Either way, Jordan Love also got hurt.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, now, as of right now, at first they were talking thumb, but then they said at some point he got hit and lost feeling like from the elbow down.
One of those the funny bone things.
So
Josh had.
So he's expected to play.
Yeah.
But that is just another thing to look out for. I mean, you're going into this playoff game. Christian Watson out indefinitely. He's out for the year.
Yeah.
You got Jordan Love. We don't know how healthy he is.
Yeah, I mean, but we haven't known how healthy he's been all season. But I mean, he's relatively. I mean, beginning of the season there was some health concerns, but yeah, some of those nagging hand injuries you can play through, but it shows. On your throwing hand, yeah.
On your throwing hand, that is.
They're playing the Eagles now.
I mean, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Well, I honestly, I've been waiting to even start into
looking at it. Okay,
the playoff bracket because there is a lot there's so much with the playoffs that I'm not even ready to discuss yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just got to think about when Purdy's arm went out, NFC Championship game. I mean, if something like that happens where his arm goes out, I mean, you got to rely on Malik Willis to come in and win without Christian Watson as well. It's just not.
And a Malik Willis who hasn't played in probably 10 weeks at this point.
I wasn't that high on Green Bay going into the postseason, but now it's like they're cooked. I'm not gonna lie, bro. They're not going. I'm not gonna
say they're cooked.
They're cooked.
They still have a good defense.
They're not going on some Super Bowl run with an injured with a not even close to healthy Jordan Love, because I mean nobody's 100% healthy going into the playoffs.
No,
Jordan Love, I'd say, is probably a little bit lower on the health scale compared to everybody else, especially with this. I mean, I don't want to call it undisclosed because I'm just a little confused on what the hell it is. It's is it hand, elbow, forearm? What exactly is going on? And are we going to find out? Or is it just going to be?
Or is this going to be a going in, and then he's going to go down and have to get hand surgery or whatever?
Is he just going to go into the playoffs with a hand injury or something? You know, I don't know. But they're not going
one of those things, like one of those Josh Allen injuries where it's like, oh, the Packers won the Super Bowl, and it's like, oh, Jordan Love played with a fucking broken back and hand and toe, and
he just
how wonderful that is.
Just toss him the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Washington.
Beautiful.
The 12. If I would have told you 18 weeks ago on this podcast that the 12-5 Commanders are going to the playoffs,
how awesome is that?
There's
sick is that?
Look,
dude?
I want to go back.
Again, look at our over/under. I'm pretty sure it was 5.5.
I mean, I want to go back 36 episodes to us just discussing before the season even started and how low of an expectation you had for your own team.
Well, because it was hey, we're bringing the same team back, the same team that was doggy ass.
A few additions, especially with vets. Y'all brought
little
some
upgrades.
vets in. Y'all brought some vets.
I mean, shit, we brought Jamison Crowder back. Now, granted, he played a little bit of a role late in the season, but still, it was like whatever. Some defensive moves, but we lost Chase Young, which I thought was a benefit. A lot of people didn't like. I thought that was good. We lost Montez Sweat last year. I didn't think that a rookie quarterback would be able to come in and make this team a fucking 12 win. We haven't done that since 91.
Well, most of us thought wrong.
Terrifying.
Washington finishes 12-5.
But it's terrifying to have this amount of hope now. I don't like it.
It's beautiful. And honestly, I can't wait to preview your wild card game. I can't wait to preview it because I'm glued to and y'all got the Sunday night.
And it's a rematch, bro.
We're going no, I can't wait about
Beautiful.
that. I can't wait for that. Flacco's still winning in 2025.
Who?
Doug Peterson Joe Flacco's still winning in 2025
right, yeah.
with the Colts. Doug Peterson fired. Now that makes sense.
That was one that we when we talked about the hot seat, it was he shouldn't be, just because of how bad the Jacksonville organization is. I don't think he could have helped that team win maybe a few more games, but they weren't going to be a playoff team, especially with Trevor playing the way he did and him going out. It's
like he didn't earn another year.
No.
But another head coach is not going to come in and turn this team because like
no changes yet.
I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of like they just want to bring back winning vibes or energy or confidence or something. It's
bullshit.
All right, I guess if you think and maybe this is like a Dan Campbell effect because like when you look at like a team like that where it's like, I don't want to put it solely on Dan Campbell, but you get a team that can fully ride with you.
Now, there are things to be said about, like a lot of things to be said about the way that Dan Campbell runs his football team, but just on paper, the Lions are a much better football team
they're great
than the Jacksonville Jaguars are.
But I think people want to be a Detroit Lion. I think people want to play for the Lions. I think people that are Lions appreciate being Lions. I think that they play for their it's just one other thing to play for. It's like you already play for your teammates, the game you love, your city, the money,
wins,
but then you're playing for this guy that you love that's running the whole squad. It's just another thing. And it's to a point where it's kind of like I look at Vegas where it's like, okay, Vegas is shit. Vegas is a new head coach going to come in there and turn around what Antonio Pierce couldn't work with? Probably not. But nobody on that roster is buying into Antonio Pierce as their head coach.
No, and at this point, it looks like he's going to have a job next year.
Yeah, I don't know what that
they
is.
They haven't confirmed him. They did confirm Daboll.
We've only heard Daboll's returning.
He's returning.
I kind of like that, but
I don't hate it. But
I've only heard Antonio Pierce talk about it.
Talk about what?
What's going on with him and his job? Like I haven't heard a quote from above him.
No.
I haven't heard anything. Like anytime he's been asked the last day or two, the last thing he said was, as of right now, all I know is what I've already known, and that's I'm coaching next year.
Sure.
Everything else is coming. That other talk is coming from outside. So that's either one of two things. That's true, or bro don't even know what's coming. Bro don't even know what's coming because
Mark Davis is a mysterious man. But
and that's the thing. Mark Davis don't give a shit.
Fuck no, dude.
And we're going to talk about Mark Davis a little bit later, just real quick, but because he's just like that was going to be a point I was going to make later is how he doesn't give a fuck. But Mark Davis don't care.
No.
He will send bro right out and get a new head coach.
When it comes to Doug, I think if Doug still wants to coach, I think he'll either take a year off and find a head coaching job or take on a coordinator job or something. But
now, let's talk about a head coach that when we discussed when we discussed coaches on the hot seat.
Give me your hottest coaches right now.
Damn, Andy Reid. Tom Coughlin.
Tony Dungy.
Tony Dungy. Oh man, dude, it's right there.
Bill Cowher.
Sure. God, it's
Get there.
Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin's hot.
Okay, then it's 5 right there. Anyways, back to some serious conversations, Devin. Out of all the coaches on the hot seat, we said this coach is probably the most lukewarm out of them all.
I know. Because he had nothing. Everything pointed to hit. Not everything. There was a lot of shit coming his way, but like before the year started, it was like this is a year you get with a rookie quarterback and nothing else. You have nothing else. Offense, defense, zero.
Jarod Mayo. Let's just let people know.
Sorry.
Jarod Mayo gets fired by the Patriots before the 4:00 games even go into halftime.
Dude, the game's off. He does a press conference
and
gone.
Was out of there.
Gone.
Now, I got a few things to say about this whole Jarod Mayo situation. This was absolutely like, I mean, I don't know if it's tasteless or just wrong or just to me, if you're going to give this rookie head coach this chance, this opportunity, someone handpicked by Bill Belichick,
yes,
why set him up to? You knew.
Well, they knew.
But
they knew they were setting him up to be in a bad position.
And I honestly,
now they were a little bit worse than expected, but
look, look. If here's the thing, and you said this, you texted me this right away, and it was like Vrabel, or it sounds like the question they're interested in Vrabel. If their goal is we want Mike Vrabel, and obviously we are going to, we can't. Jarod Mayo is not going to be our coach. We want Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
They made this move way too premature because I mean Vrabel's going on other interviews. Unless Vrabel's unless Robert Kraft called Mike Vrabel,
every team right now.
Unless Robert Kraft called Mike Vrabel and Mike's like, yeah,
I'm coming.
I'll take the job, which has to be what is going on. There's no
because I don't know,
but it's not even just like Jarod Mayo didn't deserve it. They didn't need a scapegoat. Nobody expected the Patriots to dominate this season.
No.
Nobody expected them to fucking break 500 this season.
No.
Why? There was no. You had a coach that I think when we were talking about coaches that you got players that want to play for them and they really ride for their head coach. I think he was gonna. I think his stock was starting to rise. He was a former player. He's a Patriot legend. People liked him. I think players were going to want to come play for him. They have so much cap space for some of the most, or one of the highest, if not the most cap space in the NFL going into the offseason. I mean, they have a possible bright future.
Yeah, what's weird to me is that like if they do want Vrabel, if they do go out and get Vrabel, why didn't they do that last year? He wasn't a head coach. They could have easily picked him up.
You don't have to listen to Bill.
You don't know. Go get your guy.
Bill, who do you think? You want Mayo? Okay. Well, but this is almost like
now.
Like this
I heard another name. Ben Johnson, Lions OC.
Okay.
But I don't think he would take that. I think he will be a head coach, but I think at this point he's going to be one of the higher up.
We'll see because we'll
see who gets that Bears job.
A lot of teams are already putting in for interviews that a lot of OCs and DCs they want to interview.
Yeah.
I saw Brian Flores, Todd Monken. I mean, there's some people, some phone calls. So that is interesting. But Jarod Mayo,
Brian's going to spot this shit, but we'll see.
I think if this had to be the plan from the jump, because
at what point in the season did they go, we have no future with this guy?
Now,
that they didn't already see in him beforehand.
And to wrap up this one theory, because there is one other one that's kind of a little more loose, but it is a theory. But I really don't think you should have given him the job in the first place. To me, this just kind of makes him look bad. Mm-hmm. Like this doesn't
like getting fired after your first year. But anyone who understands what's happening, like they put him in the worst possible position.
And Gronk was about to, and Fox cutting Gronk off.
I don't know what that. There's a lot of people upset about this. This is bullshit.
Fuck Michael Strahan.
But it's like
What did he get a call? They were like, "Yo, shut his
He
ass
definitely
up.
got a call.
Shut his ass up. He
But
needs to stop talking."
this is a former player.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's respected amongst the organization, the fans, everyone, and they're chanting "Fire Mayo" in the stadium. It's like, dude, you guys won
Okay.
6 fucking bowls. Take your fucking 3 shitty years and shut the fuck up.
Now that's
Chill
the
out.
other. That's the other thing, Devin. That was the other
Does
theory.
he think he's going to develop a Super Bowl winning team in the next 2 years?
No, but the other theory is, was there a conversation of, one of two things: lose this game? No, I don't want to lose this game. I'm gonna go out and win it anyways. And okay, we're gonna fire you.
Yeah.
Or plain out, we expected, like, you probably should have lost that game. Like, what were you doing?
See, but it would be pretty sad if his decision to be the head coach next year came down to the last game. I think they already knew they were going to fire him.
I think if they were in position to get the first pick and he was told to lose, and Jarod Mayo
that's a reason to fire somebody.
Jarod Mayo being someone that was like,
I don't want to lose.
Like, cool, okay, we are not going out there and losing this game. We are not. I could see that being a possibility. Nothing surprises me.
No, but like with Lovie Smith knew he was. Now, granted, Lovie Smith did a great thing for that organization by giving them the second pick so they could go out and get CJ. But no, Lovie Smith going into that game knew he was going to get fired, so he went out and won the game. Because it has a pretty blatant tank from the Texans that year. This year was just like we're this bad.
So do you think Mayo knew?
He must have. I don't think it came down to the last game like, oh, we need you to lose. Like, I don't think that happened. It could have.
I don't know. I just think there were a lot of coaches that should have been fired before the 4:00 games went into halftime. Before Jarod Mayo. I don't think he deserved to be fired at all. I think he at least should have been given this next year to be able to rebuild and build some type of team. Yeah. And hey, if you get more wins next season, he gets another chance. I mean, give the man a damn chance. And also, on the flip side, just to argue against this argument that people are making, like, think about everything we said and all the reasons he should have been given another chance. And not one time did we say, Bill had 3 bad years without Tom, and Bill Belichick is not Jarod Mayo. No. Jarod Mayo is not Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick served for 2 fucking decades.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, no.
As a college coach.
I think they gave him those last few years, and it was a mutual, like, you done? I'm done. All right. Yes. We're done. Yes. And you cannot use Bill Belichick being given his...
You're talking about Bill's last 3 years.
I'm saying there are people who are saying, like, well, you gave Bill... however many few years after Tom, and look what he did. And it's like,
Bill deserved those years.
Bill can have those years.
He deserved.
Bill can have those.
Now, if I was Bill, I don't know if I would have stayed, just because of. I think he wanted to prove something, but I mean, he wasn't getting it from his team. There just wasn't enough good players out there. He was trying to run with Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones, which was a failure. But
at the end of the day, I think the real or the most believable reason would be this was the first year in a long time where maybe the organization on the inside, just on a day-to-day basis, didn't run the way they were used to it running.
Sure.
And maybe they thought bringing in a former player would help continue
the Patriot way. Yeah.
And now they're looking at it like, well, maybe Vrabel is more capable of running things the Patriot way.
Maybe, which is stupid. I mean, there's still a chance that Vrabel's going to go out and take another job.
What if Vrabel go? That's
well. Also, like if you're Vrabel, you're looking at this. You're looking at the Mayo situation. This is a beloved former player. Granted, this is Jarod Mayo's first time coaching, but still, it's like you're a former player who has got his fucking picture up 1,000 times throughout those hallways. Are they going to do the same thing to him and just kick him after a year because they're going to give him a shit team? And
Wouldn't be
whatever.
surprised. But if Jarod Mayo's going to get fired, then I mean, Mike McCarthy, he's got to be out of there.
I
I'm
think the Bears
surprised. I'm surprised Dabble kept his job. Antonio Pierce, he's got to go. I mean, like all these guys got to go. If that's what we're doing, if this is the game we're playing, they all got to go.
We're gonna fire Robert Saleh midseason. We're gonna fire Matt Eberflus midseason. It's like what about these guys was good before the year that wasn't week 8, week 6?
But it's like cutting. I mean, I know it's different, but it's like imagine if they like decide if the Bears decide today that they're done with Caleb Williams. Like they're done. Like you know what? We saw enough. We want Aaron Rodgers. We're targeting Aaron Rodgers.
Or we're gonna go draft Shador.
We're gonna draft like Shador. We're good. Like you know how stupid that sounds? No matter how bad you think Caleb Williams played. Or last year, if going into this if last season ended and Carolina went, Bryce is done. He'll never start
Drake
again for the Panthers. Drake,
well, Joe Milton came out in that game and looked a little decent.
Joe Milton looked out there.
I said that they would talk about Joe Milton.
That spin corner.
Joe's impressive. Joe's always been impressive. He impressed a lot in the combine and just still went 5th or 6th round in his 3rd string, whatever. But
yeah. All right. Let's talk Saints Bucks. Saints versus the Bucks. Devin.
That was getting scary real quick. I mean, those 1:00 games were scary. Because, I mean, the Falcons game was tied the entire game.
Yeah, but I'm not going to lie. I knew the Bucks are going to win. Thought the Falcons were also going to win.
Down against the Saints, I got a little scared.
I thought the Falcons were. Yeah, but I'm not going to lie. It's like as soon as they went in the halftime 16-6, and I was like, look, if there's a quarterback that's not going to be able to like keep a 10-point lead, it's probably Spencer Rattler. Yeah. Like it's probably Spencer Rattler.
No, it is Spencer Rattler.
And it's Spencer Rattler. If there's one of them, has to be Spencer Rattler.
Yes.
So yeah, they get it, and honestly, on top of that, yeah, they win the NFC South. We expected that, but to go out there and do what they did for Mike,
give it to Mike.
I was so happy because Bucky got that touchdown, and it was almost like a nice, good job, nice. Because as soon as the Bucks got the ball back, it's like are they gonna kneel it? They could have obviously, and they.
Is this a Saquon situation? Are we gonna sit them?
They went for it. They did what they did what they should have done, and
now I don't want to shit talk it at all. It's great that they did that, and I love the way that they did that, and I'm glad they did that. And I don't think it's comparable to like a.
It's not Michael Strahan.
It's not a Strahan
Brett
situation.
Favre's dropping for Strahan.
It's not Brett Favre's patting him on the back and kneeling down and whatever. There's still people who want to get that changed to a tackle for a loss.
It should be.
Which would make TJ the all-time sack leader in the season.
All right, but go ahead. What are you gonna say? Shit on him.
No, I'm just saying that it's not comparable to that. Like there could be people coming out and saying that it's
not. And he missed 3 games this year, 3.5 games this year.
Yeah, and it's still a competitive play in that game.
Look, the Saints could have quadruple teamed him and said, "You're not getting this record."
Agreed. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, they drew up a great 5-6 yard play, and it worked out. Here's my conversation because I've been pondering this.
And good on the Saints head coach for not flipping the fuck out on the other team for doing that. Like the Broncos head coach against y'all.
That kind of gave me like a.
Who was that?
God, who was that? I don't know. He's a bitch. He was whining and crying though. He did not like that. Either way, this was a question that I've been pondering. I guess since the record has been broken.
Christian Ponder.
And people like to do this a lot with the NBA. Like as soon as a record's broken, it's where do they rank? And my question for you is, where does Mike Evans rank? Personally,
You said top 5.
I think it's no question, bro, is top 10.
That's what I was saying. I think top 10 is reasonable.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Who's your top 5? Who's your top 5 all time? Off the dome, who is the top 5 all time wide receiver list? Who's on it?
No order.
No order. Jerry,
Randy, Megatron, T.O.
Larry?
Could give it to Larry. We could give it to a lot of guys there, but
Okay. So to me, did you say T.O.?
I said T.O.
Okay, so to me, yeah, you have your what? Jerry, Randy, Larry, T.O., Megatron. Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest. I think in a few years we're gonna start talking about Jamar. We're gonna start talking about Justin.
Okay, I want to say
names
this.
are gonna come up real quick.
A decade.
And they're gonna be fighting for that 1 and 2 spot.
No, a decade from now, 20 years from now, the top 5 list will be filled with players from today.
Yeah, I mean Jerry will always be up there. I think it's just gonna.
No, he won't be. Devin, he won't be.
Maybe
he will be at that point.
Well, Jerry has the accolades,
bro. At that point, he will be Wilt. Like it's not. It's just not. It's not gonna be the same, bro. It's not. It's just not gonna be the same, bro. The shit that Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and all these receivers are doing, it is not the same, bro.
Jamar just won the Triple Crown.
It is not the same, Devin. And Mike Evans might just be top 5. If you really break down his career, you look at this. Mike Glennon, Josh McCown.
And I would bring quarterbacks in this, and I like
Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
Blaine Gabbert.
Yep.
Those were the quarterbacks he played with before Tom Brady became a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. In that time, 7,260 yards, 48 tutties.
Yeah.
With those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Come in, have Brady, add a Super Bowl to the resume. Who we name? We name Larry.
Yes.
We name Megatron.
Yes.
I'm just thinking of people who haven't been able to get to the pinnacle and win it.
Well, yes, sure. T.O. has one, though.
Does T.O. No. Where did T.O. win one? I don't think T.O. has one, bro. I don't know where he would. I mean, maybe we're just fumbling.
Well, Philly, no. I don't know. Was he on that last Niners team?
No. I can make sure.
Yeah.
But okay, that's my first point. Is he went in, adds the Super Bowl with Brady, and is still doing his thing with Baker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which now I don't think I don't think every conversation or ranking is especially with no Super Bowl for Terrell Owens.
Okay.
It's not gonna have to do with like quarterbacks and all this, but to be able to tie
no Super Bowl for Randy either.
No Super Bowl for Randy either. To be able to tie a record with Jerry Rice, and in those first 6 years,
7
without Tom,
6
or I believe the first 6 were without Tom.
Okay.
Because he put up 6,000 or we put up 7,260. So so the first 7. Either way, I'm not gonna sit here and do the math. That's a shitty lineup. Like there was a time where
but one of the worst.
Like there was a time where when D-Hop was in his prime, where they were talking about like how it just did not matter who was throwing him the football.
Yep.
But it's like when you look at the names that were throwing Mike Evans.
But it's like
footballs.
It's like no, Mike got through those 7 years or 6 years or whatever, and then by the time Brady came, it was like Mike's getting up there in age a little bit. Mike's doing this, and then Brady leaves, and it's like, oh, do they want to keep Mike? Mike's
and they bring in Baker, who at the point was a 3rd string in LA.
Yes. Well, no, he was a
journeyman.
He was a mid-season
Cleveland, Carolina, LA, boom.
Yeah.
Tampa. Like Well, no, because he won that last regular season game with the Rams and then signed with the Bucks. Correct?
The next year, yeah.
Okay. Either way,
But no, he was a yeah, a midseason pickup by the Rams.
yes, by the Rams. Either way, when you start to look at these other quarterbacks, I mean, obviously you can't really make the argument for some of these because I mean, Jerry did what Jerry did.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously are they a little inflated because of the receivers he was able to play or the quarterbacks he was able to play with? Sure, but he was able to also put up similar numbers in fucking Seattle at like however old
And
bro
Oakland,
was, and in Oakland. So,
but no, he whatchamacallit? He's got Super Bowl MVPs. Like Jerry is
but look, I'm just
in
saying,
terms of accolades, a league of his own.
when we're talking about breaking that top 5 barrier,
Yeah,
I saw names like Marvin Harrison, right?
of course.
Who the numbers are similar, but he played 11 of 13 years with Peyton Manning. 11 of his 13 seasons he played with. If Mike Evans played 11 years straight with Peyton Manning,
Tom Brady,
he would be the best wide receiver of all time. He'd be the best wide receiver of all time. There would be no conversation. If most of these guys who are in conversation for top 10 had Peyton Manning, prime Peyton Manning, the first 11 years of Peyton Manning's career, yeah, no, they'd be the best receiver.
Pre neck snap,
Pre-neck, pre-bad neck Manning. Come on.
Dang.
Like, I mean, there's no question.
No,
I saw
you're
people
right,
bringing up Chris Carter, who the numbers are there.
I know,
25 more
but Chris, no. I mean, Chris has had an incredible.
Look,
he had an incredible career, but no one's putting him in a top 5 conversation.
yes,
now.
they
people
are.
might talk about him.
People are.
Some people
Trust me,
will.
no. I looked at probably 15 top 5 wide receiver lists.
He has
He was
awesome numbers.
He was one of the commons, one of the common denominators.
Who was that quarterback?
I mean, at time fucking Warren Moon and I mean, you got to just go through that.
What's his name?
That 90s
Dante?
yeah,
Culpepper.
you just got to go through that 90s lineup. But I'm saying 25 more tutties, 1,300 more yards. He had a streak, an 8-year streak of 1,000 yards. He played 67 more games.
Yeah, no, Mike ain't done yet.
Jerry Rice played 136 more games.
Yeah.
Randy Moss played 51 more games. T.O. played 52 more games. Marvin Harrison played 23 more games.
Where does Mike rank in total years?
Larry Fitzgerald only played 96 more games.
Dang.
96 more games, Devin. That's a lot of seasons. That's a lot of seasons, bro. 96 more games.
I'm not even going to try to do the math.
Jerry played 136 more games. I'm not saying he's going to put up Jerry numbers by the time he's done.
No.
But if you split that in half, he might he's going to be top 5.
Well, where is he in
all-time receiving yards and all that? Oh boy, let me all-time. I want to say he's
now. Mike has hit 1,000 all these years, but what his peak was? 14?
That was his rookie year.
1,500.
I mean, can you call this much of a consistent of a career? I mean,
no.
Is his peak not?
No. I'm saying his most yards in a season.
Mike's only at 24th.
Okay,
but
no,
I mean,
his most yards in a season was what?
Most yards in a season. Let's pull bro up.
1,500.
1,500 in 2018. But I mean, he put up 1,255 last year.
Well, that was Jameis's 5K year.
He put up 1,255 and 13 touchdowns. He put up he tied his season high for touchdowns in 2023. I mean, the man still got it. And then you got to think of the names that are above him: D-Hop and Julio, who are burnt out. D-Hop not as much as Julio, but I'm not gonna lie. If D-Hop wasn't catching balls from Pat Mahomes, bro looked like he was burnt out. Julio is obviously burnt out.
Now,
Mike is gonna continue to. I mean,
the problem kind of comes in when we talk about legacy. Mike will have an incredible legacy. He will have the career stats. He'll have the 1,000-yard record. But I think the downside is that, I mean, he didn't play with a top quarterback, so we never got to see, like, prime Mike with a prime quarterback.
Is that
And if
not
we look at other receivers' primes,
the main argument for Megatron?
that is the main argument for Megatron. But it's also the main argument for Julio and
Julio, no, bro.
some other Yos on that list.
I don't know. Julio played in a Super Bowl. Julio, I mean, no, bro. I can't say that
AB.
Julio was given the
What about
luxury.
AB, bro?
Ooh, AB burnt out. Julio was given the luxury. Julio was given. Mike Evans' career isn't over.
No, I know.
Like we're Julio.
But a lot of time when we talk about receivers, it's not about longevity.
Bro, but
There's a few guys to talk about when it comes to longevity.
Julio was given the luxury of having a quarterback, at least a quarterback position that was stable and consistent.
Matt was good. No, Matt was good.
Yeah, Matt was fucking good. So
Yeah.
to sit here and act like Julio didn't have it way easier than Mike Evans,
No, I agree.
it's just we're just being naive. So if he's not top 5 yet, if you want to play these numbers really, really hard and pick apart every single number they want, they can. But if you can look at just the volume, if you look at the quarterbacks he had to catch balls from, the consistency, if he's not yet, he will finish top 5 all time. Sorry.
But again, how long is that going to last? You know.
I mean, bro, he pulled. We're acting like he's getting so old that he can barely put up 1,000. He pulled his hammy.
No. I'm not.
He pulled his hammy early, missed 3 games, still was able to put up 1,000.
You know,
man is probably going to have 3 or 4 more 1,000-yard seasons.
Agreed. No, I'm not talking about how much time does he have left. I think he's got still a lot of time left. How much time does he have in terms of being in that top 5 when you have Jamar and Justin who will be in that?
So Jamar and Justin are just jumping everybody in a couple years, just like that. Is that really what we're?
I'm not saying just like that, but at this pace,
we're still arguing like Marvin Harrison, Calvin Johnson, Mike Evans. We're not throwing.
No, I know, but if we look at, but the way that we talk about this season with Justin, if he's doing this with Sam Darnold,
that's cool.
No, I know, but I'm saying if this continues.
Sure, but I mean, like I said, 20 years from now, the list will be filled with names from today. But Mike Evans, from the time he retires, okay, if you're asking me how long will it last, in my eyes, from the time he retires till 20 years after that, his name will be in the top 5 list. Will it maybe start to break if receivers are going that crazy 25, 30 years from now? Sure. But to go, I mean, I don't know. Am I now I'm just yoga stretching for like a chance for him to be top 5, because now it's like, what, maybe he has a chance to be top 5 over the next 30 years. Like, what are we doing here? Can he finish top 5 or not? That's really the question. Could he retire top 5 if you don't think he is now?
Yeah, he can for sure.
Could it last a year? It could last 10 years. I don't know.
But I mean, there is something to be said about the record for sure, and I definitely think that right now he's for sure top 10. But no, I mean, definitely the lack of impressive quarterbacks is a thing, but I'm not sure how much that's going to get talked about in the upper echelon of receivers. You know?
Well, maybe I can help.
Yeah, no, and I think you are.
Mike Glennon, Josh McCown, Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Blaine Gabbert.
Some of the worst.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Moving on from that. Miami versus New York. Not much to talk about for the game, but I do have 2 specific players that I want to talk about. And the first one is the obvious. That's well, I guess they're both obvious. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, bro.
Probably 50% of that game. People say Tom Brady's a bad commentator, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Greg Olsen is the worst commentator ever.
Really?
Greg Olsen sucks at comment. He says 4 things, maybe 4 things in a game. He said,
God, I wish I listened to commentary during
80% of his 80% of his dialogue yesterday was, and we might be watching the last game of Aaron Rodgers' career. We might be watching the last game of Aaron Rodgers' career. We might be watching. This might be Aaron Rodgers' last game of his career. Greg Olsen is the worst commentator in the NFL, and it's not even fucking close. So if people want to say it's Tom Brady because they don't like Tom Brady, that's cool. It'd be
What
the
about
same.
Chris? Chris still sucks.
Chris sucks, but that's
It's a funny joke now.
That's nostalgia. That's just nostalgia there because one day.
But Chris leans into how much of a
people are gonna miss.
jackass he is.
People are gonna miss that man on Sunday Night Football. I don't care what anybody says. But either way, Aaron Rodgers, will he play ever again? Was he playing in his last game against Miami?
Well, that narrative started fairly recently. Like the past few weeks, it was like, oh, time might be out for Aaron Rodgers, and this might be it, and that, and whatever. I don't think it is.
Well, I would think it'd be more of a recency bias thing if it wasn't coming from Aaron Rodgers' mouth. Aaron Rodgers seems to be the one.
He's been saying this for 5 years now, dude. I
don't
know how much time I have.
How
long I'm going to be playing.
In his words, it's if it's the perfect situation, I'll play, but I'm okay with retiring. That's different than I don't know how much time I got left.
That is much different. I don't know.
Now, I agree. I don't think he's retiring.
No, and he's been known to troll, and I hope he has. I don't want to speak on what the man has to do for his career. If he wants to leave and go retire, he can go fucking retire. But, I mean, for the way that, like, he wanted to add to his legacy late in his career, the way that they came into this Jets era was way different than anyone's looking at it 2 years later. And, I mean, I still think Aaron has it. I still think he's able to play. But, yeah, I don't know. It's weird how quickly it's just turned into, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore, and that and this and whatever. I'm going to fucking go in the woods.
So let's talk about teams he could possibly play for. I think there's two types of teams, right? I think you got just straight up teams that need a quarterback.
But he's out, for sure.
For sure. He's so out. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Now, he's so out. He's out.
I don't know. I get that Aaron wanted to, like, make his team and bring his guys in and do his thing, but at a certain point, he's got to go to a ready team and trust them.
Now, here's the thing. There's not many ready teams left without a quarterback. Now, the question is, and I'm going to give you the teams that I'm thinking of, are there teams that could give up on their experiment that they're running with or they've been running with?
Seattle.
That's one of them for sure. To maybe go for a type of Super Bowl run. Now, first of all, that's great that you brought up Seattle. That's one of the first teams I want to talk about. Now, the reason being Seattle is, okay, the Geno Smith story, it's cool. It's great. There's no way they ever thought he was bringing them a Super Bowl or a deep postseason run. They have a roster right now that for the next 2 or 3 years could compete with a competent, still MVP level Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the question of, how big of a move does Seattle view that as? How big of a stab in the back does media look at that, to that type of quarterback who hasn't really done anything to, make them make just the most drastic changes ever.
Yeah.
But also it's like, we know your ceiling.
Yes.
Now, Seattle could just not give a shit and say, we don't care. We're going to look slimy and just do what we got to do to try to make a Super Bowl run.
Sure.
But you also got to think, it's the NFC West looked very vulnerable this year. And I think if you got the Rams running with an older quarterback next year in Matt Stafford, you got Arizona not having a clue what they're doing, and you got San Fran, there's a shot there. You also have San Fran.
Which is where he should have gone.
Which is honestly where he should have gone. Now, maybe there's a world where San Fran didn't want Bro 2 years ago, And I understand there were a lot of teams that didn't really want him 2 years ago because he was talking too much.
Yeah, and I don't know. Hopefully, he puts away like the overhaul type of mindset where he takes over and tries to make his things go his way. But no, San Fran,
Dude, San
healthy.
Fran. I mean, how many more years are they going to run with this Purdy? Because you got to think, I'm talking teams like Seattle and San Fran, they're not a quarterback away. Or excuse me, they're not like on this, they're not about to take this step where it's like, all right, we need to transition into, starting a new era, bringing
Yeah.
in just bringing in some new quarterback. It's like they are almost damn near Super Bowl ready,
Mm-hmm.
but they know the ceiling of their quarterback.
Yes.
Going into the season, they know.
Yes.
So it's really just, is this team around the quarterback good enough? Or you could say, we know this team around the quarterback is good. Let's throw in a quarterback that we don't need to have relied just on the sole talent of the team around him.
Yes. And, I mean, give Purdy credit for going to a Super Bowl and doing everything that he's done with that team. But the second that this team starts to get injured, his shield falls apart. And, I mean, and we knew that, but yeah, if there's a lot of guys who can just be plugged into this offense and win games and do it. But now, hopefully, Aaron and other teams still think he's got it like that. See, he's got it better than a Purdy right now.
Well, I'd like to think. I mean, especially
I would still take that chance. Like,
I mean, watch. The man just threw 4 touchdowns. Like he's still got it. He's still got it.
My thing is like San Fran is still one of the older teams in the league. A lot of their guys are aging. Kittle's aging out. McCaffrey, we don't know what the fuck he's doing.
No, they said McCaffrey was postseason ready.
Beautiful.
Which is hilarious. They say that after the season ends, but
yeah.
Either way.
Well, they could have said that at any point. It wouldn't have mattered.
Well, maybe they could have been saying hopeful for playoffs.
I think they said right when he got injured. They're like maybe.
Either way, if an Ayuk or Debo goes down,
he's still gonna play decent with a Juwan Jennings or with other guys. Kittle. He can still find a way to feed them the ball. But the problem with like the Niners was Super Bowl contenders without a top tier quarterback. The Jets were dog shit. And then Aaron tries to come in and revamp an entire organization, and he said he wanted to bring whatever back to an organization. But
teams you're describing that you'd say he should stay away from would be like Vegas then.
Rebuilds, yeah.
So don't go to Vegas.
I know. I don't think he had.
What if they fire Pierce and bring in a coach? Bring in a different head coach?
No, he gave that. Like, he had that opportunity 2 years ago. He picked the wrong team. He got hurt. He tore his Achilles, but he needs to find a ready team. And now Seattle's not a bad option. They're somewhat readier than other teams.
So not the Cleveland Browns.
Not a chance.
D-Watt just had Achilles surgery, probably not playing next season.
No, D-Watt's not a Brown next year.
No, he's set to restructure his contract, and they want to bring him back. They did plan on bringing him back.
Then he's not going to play most of the season.
So not don't fill that role with Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Okay, just making sure. Just throwing teams out there.
Now, there is a world where Aaron will pop onto an old team, but I don't think he has the energy to be with a team for 3 years. Clearly doesn't.
Well, so we're going to talk about this game next, but what if Sam Darnold just folds in the playoffs?
That's very possible. And I mean, they were talking about a Stafford Darnold trade.
But I'm saying, if Sam Darnold plays sort of the way he played Sunday night.
But remember, you still got JJ back there.
Devin, you still got JJ back there. Would you rather let JJ sit behind Sam Darnold the next 2 years or Aaron Rodgers?
Era.
Come
That's
on,
a
bro.
stupid thing to say.
Come on, bro. Jordan Love sat back there and look at him. He's fucking Brett Rodgers now. He's Brett fucking Rodgers.
Apparently he is. I don't think he's
Aaron
that good,
fucking
but
Favre.
he's not. But
That's what they
they
say.
think he is.
That's what
Everyone says
that's
he
what
is.
they say.
Yeah, no. Ooh, that's a really good team to go to.
Bro, if Sam Fold, I'm not praying for the downfall.
I'm gonna be honest. They were.
And who's coming? Who's coming with A-Rod?
Devontae needs to
No.
quit suckling the team.
No. Who's
Honestly,
coming
I'm
with
ready for
A-Rod?
Devontae to fuck
Oh,
off.
so you don't want to see A-Rod and Justin Jefferson? You don't want to see that, or you don't
I
want to see
would love to
A-Rod?
see
You don't want
that.
to see A-Rod,
No, I
Justin
wanna see
Jefferson,
that. Of
and
course I wanna see
Devontae
that.
Adams.
No, I do want to see that.
With the reconnection with Aaron Jones. Hey, old friend, what's going on?
Right.
Maybe a little unk to unk chemistry. Like, come on, bro. Like, fuck these teams that we're talking teams that already got 14 wins that just need one more push to win a damn Super Bowl. Let Sam Darnold fold. Let bro just pick up the phone. Just have the
Hold on.
conversation.
Can he go to another team in the North?
Can he?
He can.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
he owns the North. Can he not? Why wouldn't he be able to?
You're right. He does own the North.
The man owns the North.
He owns the Bears. He owns the North.
He can go wherever he wants to go in the North.
No, honestly, now that you brought it up, I think I even like that more than the Niners.
I'm just saying, it's an idea.
Just because of the youth in that team, the Jettis effect, Aaron
and if
can still play well.
And if their goal is
and
the
if
next
Sam Darnold can win 14. But here's the thing. If Zach Wilson can win 7.
All right, we're not talking about that, though. Here's the thing, though. Just hear me out. If the goal is to have J.J. McCarthy, the starting quarterback, by 2027, why not have him just sit behind A-Rod instead of Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is...
And there's no reason for this Vikings team to waste how good this team is. I mean, we didn't really expect them to be this good, especially with Sam Darnold. But if they can be this good with Sam Darnold, you throw in a vet like A-Rod.
And like you said...
But, nah, I mean...
They considered
Sam is going to have to fold. If Sam has a crazy playoffs, he's going to be the starter next year.
Yeah, but if the Vikings can only put up 9 points in the playoffs...
Not for real.
If their only touchdown is the plane that lands in the fucking city they play, I mean, it's...
Damn.
There's no way you can't at least look at the possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
You got to at least look at the possibilities. So I'd say at least pick up the phone. At least pick up the phone and have a conversation if shit goes left.
But no, I would say Minnesota, San Fran, Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. We got a plan. There we go. You got your plan. But the other we'll actually discuss the other player on the other team in a second. Minnesota and Detroit.
Yeah.
Now, if you said to me both teams were going to play like their season were on the line, and Minnesota was only going to put up, or Minnesota weren't going to put up double-digit points,
yeah,
I would have believed it.
Yeah.
I said this last episode, with both teams, fuck it, balls to the walls. We got to win this game. We have to win this game.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be...
It's what Detroit's built for.
I didn't know it was going to be this big of a punishment.
No, it was close for a while.
For a minute. It was very...
The first half.
I'm not going to lie. It seemed more like nerves. Like who's going to fuck up first? Come on.
Sure.
What was going to happen? It was very slow. And then Detroit caught some momentum and...
Jahmyr Gibbs had a Hall of Fame type of game. 4 tutties.
Bro, that's when I was talking. When I said the Eric Dickerson shit, I'm like, bro, look at running backs we got playing today. Saquon don't need to break no Eric Dickerson record when we got running backs playing like Jahmyr Gibbs and Saquon and Derrick Henry today. So, Jahmyr balled the fuck out.
And that's what I was saying about Montgomery. It's like, yes, losing Montgomery sucks, but Jameer's the one, and Montgomery was being put in a lot, goal line pushes to give Jameer a break. But if Jameer can be out there like this, score like this, and I mean, I don't see a struggle coming from him. But yeah, no, definitely not a great way for Minnesota to end their season, but also not an unexpected way for them to play a game like this.
I'm not shocked.
Like this, no, this was the first playoff game.
It was. This was a playoff game for Minnesota.
So for them to show up and play like this, now they missed the field goal. They right before the half kicked the ball out of bounds and gave Detroit a much better starting position to go kick a field goal before the half and get momentum. So yeah, it's just a shit game all around for them, but offensively they weren't there at all.
All right, let's segue into another conversation that.
Have you ever been on a Segway?
No,
I haven't.
I've never been on a Segway. I feel like
it was huge, just in like the Paul Blart.
I feel like when MySpace was big, maybe.
Yeah.
Like people would like
Well, like
it's a Segway. That'd be cool. But no, to
like Segway tours were a big thing for a while.
To segue into a topic that is a lot more serious. But it's very
serious.
Yeah, but it's also shocking, confusing. I'm interested in how much you've seen or heard or read up on it. Read about. It's this whole Skip Bayless situation, and it's a lot more than Skip Bayless. It's
Fox.
It's Fox Sports. There's some names, but the biggest names: Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor. There's some conversations being had, and
is Unk anywhere in there?
Well, let's see. So there's a couple of things. I felt like it'd be easier for me to just read, what's going on than me sitting here going, "Whoa, they're saying that." Now I'm not gonna lie. The first problem is pronouncing the woman's name.
The accuser's name.
Faraji, I believe it is. Faraji is how that's how I'm going to pronounce it. She did the hairstyling for several shows during her time at Fox Sports, including Undisputed, while working for the show. She did the hair for Skip Bayless. The suit alleges soon after weekly haircuts, Bayless began finding excuses to touch her. Over the years she worked with Bayless, he allegedly continued to make advances towards her. In July of 2021, she reportedly informed Bayless about a possible cancer diagnosis, hoping to stop the sexual advances, but he continued with it. Bayless, all right, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't read that part yet. Reportedly informed in July of 2021, she reportedly informed Bayless about a possible cancer diagnosis. Devin, I'm really trying to be sensitive with this. I'm not gonna lie, but can I just be honest? This just sounds like some fluff that makes look, if
I've never heard that.
Listen, if what happened, why are we throwing in this sympathy shit?
Yeah,
I don't.
No, I agree.
Because I'm already gonna say some things later on that might get me in trouble, but I'm just saying, what does that have to do with this? In 2021, I gave him an excuse to stop or a reason to possibly stop. Like, first of all, that just sounds.
Well, I think a reason to stop is because
it's wrong.
In her eyes, wrong.
And not wait 4 more fucking years.
The advances that he was making were wrong, and they should not have to do with anything else going on in anyone's life.
And then it went on for 3 more years. Before anything was said. Bayless told her that he wanted to be with her. Miss Faraji panicked and began rambling that there were cameras everywhere, that she has a child, that she does not want him, the suit reads. Bayless then grabbed her hands, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to have sex. She made an excuse to leave. Bayless reportedly made another advance the next week when Faraji informed him that he has a wife. Bayless made a comment regarding her religion. Oh, because she's Muslim. He said something
Gotcha.
like, "Oh, well, you're Muslim," and I guess that's the. He also accused Faraji of having a relationship with Shannon Sharp. Yeah. So
He accused her.
apparently he accused Shannon of and her of having a relationship together.
Wait, was she the live stream chick?
No.
That was Michelle Beaver.
He also his co-star in Undisputed. The advances from Bayless continued in 2024, so I guess he took a break in 22 and 23. They just continued in 2024. He allegedly told Faraji, because she was okay with it stopping. She was like, I'm going to keep working here and be okay with it. He fantasized about her and asked how much money it would take for her to have sex with him. Obviously not 1.5 mil. Bayless was with Fox Sports until August when he left Undisputed and the network following 8 years. It was during this time when Faraji said she was fired. She was fired. She was fired. The suit said Bayless told Faraji that Dixon wanted her fired because she knew too much and was talking. Now, here's the thing. She's the one that said she knew too much and was talking. Faraji has suffered and continues to suffer losses in earnings, losses in other employee benefits, losses in other financial aspects. Furthermore, she suffered and continues to suffer emotional distress, shame, embarrassment, fear, and all to her damage in an amount to be proven at the time of trial, the suit reads. When Ms. Faraji and others came forward to report the wrongdoing instead of addressing their concerns, Fox retaliated against them while the perpetrators and those who protected them inexplicitly promoted. All right. What do you got to say about it? Because I'm what are we doing?
I have one thing to say. The timeline is weird. The 2-year gap is weird. The cancer bring up is irrelevant.
I don't like this at all. I really don't like this. Skip Bayless, look, I get it. There are weirdos.
No, it's very plausible that this could have happened.
Devin, I'm really big on like if it happened, call the police.
Agreed.
If it happened, 911. Boom. There's your solution.
No, but I can see him like kissing a hand.
Bro, there's cameras everywhere. In her words, there's cameras everywhere.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
In her words, she just said there's cameras everywhere. I'm gonna need footage. I'm gonna need something. I'm gonna need more than just her word, bro. Because bro, I'm not gonna lie, it's 2020 fucking 5. We gotta start playing this. If it's innocent until proven guilty, especially if we're just suing. Are we suing here? So this is a lawsuit against Skip Bayless. This is a lawsuit.
But why would she get fired?
So she gets fired
while he's leaving.
While he's leaving, she stayed and worked for him for years after he allegedly did what he did to her. She never came out and said nothing about it. Nothing. She voiced complaints to other people, I guess other executives so they say. Devin, this pisses me off. The man is what, in his 60s, 70s, he's married, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna sit here and try to make excuses, but Skip Bayless, for as long as I've been alive, and probably 20 years before that, has dedicated most of his life to one thing. To the point where even his wife is like, this man loves fucking Vanderbilt baseball more than me. Like, I don't even know what to say. Skip Bayless, like, bro, I know we're going to play this game and a lot of people are just going to go at his neck because they don't like him and they think he's corny and they don't like his takes on fucking LeBron or the Cowboys. Let's put that shit aside for a second and just talk about him as a human being. This isn't, it just, I don't know, bro. It pisses me off. It pisses me off when the story is, well, this happened, and then I told him about a cancer diagnosis, and he offered me this money, and I'm not taking it, but I'm taking it now. Like, it's like this shit that just, I don't.
Yeah. No. I mean, these are not substantial claims, and they're like in this.
And then to what?
In this realm are meant to be defamatory.
And you know what?
Like, this is meant to defame him.
I hope he fucking countersues. But let's go back on this shit. You want to go in okay. Let's
wait. Should we put them on the undisputed table?
Hold on. Let's freak out about that. but then also slut shame Joy Taylor. Let's put all this shit on Joy Taylor and say she fucked everybody.
Yeah.
And let's I was abused and all this and that. Oh, and Joy Taylor's a slut. Like that's what this lawsuit is. That's exactly what. In addition to Taylor's name surfacing for Rodgers' complaints against Dixon, the lawsuit makes specific claims against Taylor as well. The suit alleges Taylor began insulting her on a personal and professional level after their friendship ended. Who was Persian descent, who claimed Taylor mocked the English pronunciation of her name. What the fuck? Okay, boom. Okay. Hey guys, I'm upset that I got SA'd. Also, this bitch made fun of my name, and I'm gonna need some restitution.
These need to be.
I'm gonna need my restitution.
These are.
You see what I'm saying, though? You see what I'm saying? This is a whole bunch of fluff. This is a 1,000-word essay.
This is just a disgruntled employee.
This is I got fired. Here's a 1,000-word essay, and 700 of the words are fluff.
Yeah.
Because she's saying Joy Taylor fucked these executives, and it's really funny.
Joy Taylor has nothing to do with any of it.
Joy Taylor hasn't worked with Undisputed. She doesn't even have anything to do with Undisputed. She hasn't had anything to do with Undisputed for years. And you're going to sit here and tell me that so Shannon Sharp's a piece of shit? Because he had to know about all this.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody knew about it, if there's cameras everywhere, if everybody was in on it, because everybody's in on it. Everybody's in on this random hairdresser getting touched. And nobody stood up for her. In 2024, 2025, nobody who actually believed it might have happened stood up and risked losing their fucking makeup or producing job for Fox fucking Sports?
Yeah.
If it's true and there's cameras everywhere, bring it to court. Take it to court, bro. This shit,
yeah.
it
Shit, they took Jackson Mahomes to court.
It makes my blood boil, bro. It just makes my blood boil.
There's video of Jackson Mahomes trying to...
It's like, of course, once the show's over and he has nothing going on,
yeah,
you bring it up. You say this shit. Oh, I don't have a job anymore. So let me tell you guys about some shit that happened 4 years ago. And
let me get that 1.5.
If it happened, it happened. Say it fucking happened in 2021. Don't sit here in 2024 and just try to get a bunch of money out of him.
But
take his ass to court right now.
Also try to. I mean, you can have him convicted of.
That's what I'm saying.
Sexual assault.
That's what I want. That's what I want her to do. That's the route I want her to take. Not this bullshit.
It is illegal to sexually assault people. I mean, it's not just civilly illegal.
Yeah, you don't have to sue. Like, you can call the police.
It's not a civil thing. No.
Like I don't know if people are confused, but if you get assaulted, you can call the police and let them know. You don't have to sit with a lawyer for 3.5 years and cook up some lawsuit. No. And she makes. I mentioned his wife, and I did this. I did that. And it's just. I don't know, bro. I think it's sickening. Joy Taylor used sexual relationships with ex-NFL star co-host Emmanuel Echo and network executive Charlie Dixon to further her career. I mean,
who cares? What does that have to do with anything?
If that's true, let's say that's true. Is it
illegal?
What the fuck does that have to do with that? So, okay,
it's not illegal.
So,
frowned upon. It's probably against company policy.
Is she making a point that's the only way you can become you got one person that's a hairdresser, one person that's a personality. So yeah. I'm sorry that she's on TV and you did her hair, but I really don't believe this, bro. I can't. And until I'm proven wrong, I'll come on here and apologize, say I'm sorry, whatever. Skip Bayless is a piece of shit. But until then, the same way, I still sit here and go I'm gonna need more evidence than just a bunch of bitches coming out and saying, "Hey, do you what?" I'm gonna need I need more than just words, bro. I need more than words. There's people that get off of murder with physical evidence. I'm gonna need words. I'm gonna need more than words when we're talking about shit like this, bro.
True.
I really do. I really do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you are not you, but anybody watching, if you are offended, if you think I'm being insensitive.
It is funny that in murder cases, it's now you have to fully prove them, to a T.
No.
If you're
To the
accused of
point,
murder,
to the
you're
point
not
where
a
there's
murderer.
no question.
Yes.
Like, think about how many questions we just asked. There can't be a
Yes.
question in your mind they're innocent.
But also, what's her civil claim?
That she was that you just heard me. Did you not just?
No, I know, but why? Like, what is she suing for?
You want? I mean,
Is she suing for being
yeah,
sexually
for being
assaulted?
assaulted. I get. I get.
Well, then what the
She's
hell
suing
does
for
everything
that.
else have to do with it?
I guess how Fox handled it. I guess all this. I don't know what Joy Taylor has to do with all this. It's like I don't know what her having cancer and using that to her advantage had anything to do with that. Like I don't. I don't.
This
I don't
just
know.
sounds like corporate America stuff. I mean, this happens. It shouldn't, but I mean, shit like this happens all the fucking time. And yeah, no. Like,
It makes me upset because
if it is serious, then yeah,
look, and
take
if
it
it's
up with the police.
and I'm like, I understand, I seen bias, like, well, we're talking sports and Skip Bayless, but it's like, look, like he is a human being, and I do think he's a good person. And
I don't know. I can't say yes or no. I don't know. Yeah, I can't.
I genuinely have no reason to think most people are just bad human beings. Like, there's a difference between.
I'm a little more pessimistic than you, but
Okay. There's a difference between getting mad on a field and maybe getting in a fight, like Juwan Jennings, right? And maybe letting your emotions get the best of you, and breaking your 2-year-old's arm,
sure, arm,
and then beating up your pregnant girlfriend. So I'm gonna assume someone that does that probably isn't the best human being. Skip Bayless, look, I mean, when you look, I mean, he has 60-something, 70-something years of life that we can look back on, and he's dedicated his life to this one thing. And he's very, and and you see, and you can tell how passionate the man is about it. And for all the shit he puts up with and all the shit he puts aside for the thing he loves, I don't think he's risking it for some ass. I really don't, bro.
No?
I really don't.
How old is this woman?
Skip Bayless?
No.
How old is this woman?
The accuser, yes. That is a funny statement. How old is this woman? Who? Skip Bayless? Skip Bayless could look like a 70-year-old woman named Barbara from behind.
Her age is, I don't fucking know. Does it matter? I don't care.
No.
I don't care what it is, but I just know that it's if this is all it's gonna be is a lawsuit that doesn't really go anywhere, and that's it, and it's just gonna be this smut on Skip. Like, think about it. Like, Skip Bayless.
Is smut the right word?
Yeah. If this is all it is just us people talking about it. I'm saying
smut was a gross word.
Throwing smut on his name, like,
oh, gotcha.
Just like, I'm saying, okay, I'm just saying, bro, if I'm 70 and I didn't do some, if I'm 70 and I didn't do some crazy shit like that, and I might only have 15 years, 20 years left on this earth, if I'm blessed enough, I don't want to have that on my fucking name. It's like, bro, like, look, I want to talk about something else. I want to change the topic. Yes. Change the topic to something better. Let's talk about Tyreek.
But no, hopefully more shit comes out about this real substantial stuff. Good or bad, and we can get some answers.
Thank you. I 100% agree, Devin. Let's talk about Tyreek Hill.
Let's keep it on.
Let's talk about Tyreek Hill, and the future of Tyreek Hill, because bro is
someone
out.
Who
all right. Bro is out of Miami. Bro is absolutely gone. He is just like Jimmy Butler.
Do you know why he's out of Miami?
I don't.
Because the cops are bad.
Okay, I know why he's truly out of Miami, and that's because he, he wants to not spare any time he has left in the league.
Well, I know why he's out of Miami, because he went to Miami for money.
Well, okay. See,
and that was it.
Here's the problem. Let's restart. He said he was retiring at 30.
He did, yes.
He didn't retire. He's going somewhere else. So, I think it's obvious he wants to go play with a better quarterback.
Well, a team that can win, yes.
Now, the problem is,
4 or 5 years ago, whenever he signed the contract, his focus was, I've already won a Super Bowl. I need money.
Now it's I got on my bread. Let me
I
win
still got
let me make
my
the
legs
playoffs.
still work.
Well, he said I can't. He said I'm not. He said I'm too competitive to just be out here playing. Like
No, for real.
I'm not just playing regular season games. Like that's not
But
me.
I mean, I guess it's a part of his plan. Like
Well,
he should have expected. I guess he expected more out of um, the Dolphins, but he went there and got his money, and now we got to figure out where the fuck he's gonna go from here.
The problem is he's probably gonna have to be traded.
Yes.
Way too much dead cap if he were to just be cut by Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So the options are obviously going to be limited.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe let's not talk the chances of Miami wanting to trade to that team or packages, but just teams
we don't know. Yeah.
Teams that maybe have some desire for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
So teams that come to mind for me, first of all, Houston Texans.
I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of teams.
There's a lot. First one is Houston.
Like maybe
we're gonna go down a list.
All of them.
We're gonna go down a lot. Houston Texans. I think there's more some other, but okay. The reason I say Houston.
You got Steph, Nico, and
what happened to Nico?
Nico's good. Tank.
I flip names.
Yeah.
So
no,
you
have yeah.
Excuse
Tank's
me.
not next.
So you have Nico. Diggs is up in the air. He's a free agent.
Is he?
Diggs is a free agent. He's up in the air coming off of.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
So okay, sorry, I got it off flip. So you're rocking with just Nico. Diggs could make the return. CJ Stroud, he's gotta be on the list of quarterbacks Tyreek would be willing to play for.
Yeah.
Absolutely has to be.
Yeah.
So I think Houston
if he's willing to play with Tua, then
yeah. Well, see, I don't think he's going like if Tua's here, he's not getting traded to a team where the quarterback's here. Like he has to be at least higher than Tua. He's not going. Sure. He's not.
It's not that hard to do.
It's not that hard. It isn't that hard. But another team that he hinted at last night were the Chargers. Which I mean, you got great organization in terms of they got their Jim Harbaugh with his head.
Well, no, they're not a great organization.
No, I mean they Jim Harbaugh. And no, well, I'm just talking in terms of Jim Harbaugh running the damn team.
Yes.
Fuck what's going on. I'm just saying.
Well, and I mean, the Chargers make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
This was a year that I looked at as like not a throwaway year, but like a get your legs year for Jim. They didn't make a lot of moves outside of the two running backs and maybe a few other guys, but to build up that receiver core, to get guys for Herbo, who Harbaugh thinks is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. That's a real move. That's
a move that they definitely need. Definitely is an upgrade compared to Quentin Johnson. And then throw him next to Ladd. You got a returning healthy JK next season. You got an offense that's going to be dangerous. Another team that was brought up.
Well, the Chargers did pick up a very important player. You want to talk about SA?
Golly, you want to talk about Shout out to Dak, I guess.
His is on camera.
Zeke, huh?
No, Zeke's is on camera.
Zeke's is Zeke. Okay, yeah, we're gonna just skate past that. Now this team is a long shot, but what coach just loves an emotional receiver?
All of them.
What coach's goal is to make sure every year he has an emotional receiver on his roster?
Mike Tomlin.
It's Mike Tomlin.
But he's going to have two now, dude.
Doesn't matter. Now, I think part of George Pickens is he's young, obviously emotional, but he's got a lot of pressure on him. He's wide receiver one. He's carrying this offense, at least in the passing game. Mm-hmm. Why not take some pressure off of him? Mm-hmm. Add a Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. Now, and it's like, you got to almost think like there's a world where you take two guys who maybe are a little, and then you put them together, and it's like, they're like, yo, like the Spider-Man meme, like, they're going to get along. Like, it's like, almost like, when Russ and Pat Bev, when they became teammates,
yes,
they loved each other.
You're right.
It's the hothead thing. You put the
Does
hotheads
two crash
together.
outs make a crash in?
2 crash outs. Yeah, it definitely is a return. I mean,
Make a chill guy?
it's definitely a return. But I'm not gonna lie. The more I think about it, yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh. I'd hate it as a Ravens fan, but I obviously can sit here and talk about how great of a fucking move it'd be for the Steelers.
Yeah, no.
Shit.
Now, y'all could get him.
Or not. I don't. Please don't. No. I do not want Tyreek Hill.
Maybe y'all bring back Odell too.
The Baltimore Ravens do not need Tyreek Hill, and they better not make that move. I don't think we could afford that. No. I don't know. I don't want Tyreek Hill.
No.
Absolutely not.
Derrick Henry for Tyreek Hill. Easy swap.
All right, so do not be surprised if he goes back to Kansas City.
No, I'm not going to be.
Like, don't.
He's going to be like, I don't play with Pat Mahomes.
Well, I mean, they're going to be sitting there like...
You should never have left, you dumb idiot.
Well, they're going to be sitting there like, all right, so we're probably going to bring back
if Reek was still there, we wouldn't have to look at the Chiefs every year and go, this team fucking sucks. Why are they good?
Mm-hmm. But it's like, they're probably looking at next year like, all right, we're going to bring D-Hop back. They're probably sitting on Marquise...
Juju. I think Marquise and Juju are bouncing.
But D-Hop and Tyreek Hill? Look. With Patrick Mahomes, bro, they could be 55 years old and Patrick Mahomes would be able to figure it the fuck out.
I agree.
Another team I saw was Denver. And the only thing I can say to that is, like, I mean, anything's possible. But 30-year-old Tyreek Hill is probably not going to Bo Nix.
No.
Like, I think I'm not saying, like 5 years from now, that might be the dumbest thing I could have ever said. But as of right now, I mean, you can't really... I don't know. I if we're talking about all the quarterbacks we've been talking about, we're betting on them before Bo Nix.
Yeah.
At least if I'm Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
A team that has a lot of... I know you're gonna fucking say who. They're on. I wrote them down.
Yeah, like it popped in my head, but I mean, I wouldn't be too high up on it. I mean, it would be cool if he came to Washington. No, if he came to Washington, yeah. But honestly, I would rather us. I mean, I think our receivers are good. No, Terry's obviously a dog. I'd rather see us get a running piece, develop a bit more of a D line, develop more of a secondary than just the threat. But it'd be cool to have.
I was about to say it sounds good. Like what you're saying.
Cool. Now we won 12 games this year, so we don't need him per se. But also, this could have been a big fluke, and we could suck next year, and I'm ready for that. So.
There's a team with a whole lot of money in New England, but kind of with the same Bo Nix thing, even on a lower scale. It's like, I'm not going to play with Drake fucking May.
Well, he could be playing with Joe Milton.
Possibly. No.
I like Joe Milton. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to I don't think he's going to New England. Not a chance in that. And
I think if Belichick was there, maybe.
Another team I saw.
Also, where the fuck is Belichick going to UNC? What are we doing?
Okay,
that makes me so upset.
That's my fucking thing. Why go in this circle of Mayo and Vrabel and you could have just kept. All right, that's not the conversation. Fuck it. That is not even the conversation. Green Bay, obviously, with the
the now loss of Christian Watson for most of next year.
I mean, a Jordan Love to Tyreek connection. I mean, you can't be mad at it. Josh Jacobs still balling in the backfield. That's an offense.
If you could pick, this might be a stupid question, but for Minnesota, do you go out and you get A-Rod? Or could you rely on getting Tyreek and then still playing with Sam?
Saying if I was the Minnesota Vikings and I had to make a choice between keeping Sam or getting Aaron Rodgers or keeping Sam Darnold and getting Tyreek. Aaron, less money.
Fair.
Aaron said wherever he goes, it's going to be team friendly. So.
Yeah,
or if if he goes, it will be it'll be more team friendly. So,
yeah,
Aaron.
Another team I was thinking
but
of.
That's the teams I got for now.
There's a team I just thought of. I forgot.
I mean, it's early. Obviously, some of these teams could look real different a couple months from now.
Yeah,
I mean, we really don't know. Like I said, Houston could be looking at no Diggs. I mean, if they don't look at Diggs, but then you got to think. I mean, and we're gonna talk about free agents probably next episode. Honestly, I keep pushing it off, but soon we'll be talking about some free agents. There's a lot of receivers. I mean, T. Higgins is gonna be on a lot of people.
That's who I was
He's
thinking.
He's gonna be on a lot of
people's.
Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, D-Hop, Diggs, Devontae Adams is gonna be on the market. Like, there's gonna be some comp. So
Mike Evans and Tyreek Hill.
I mean, shit.
Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill.
Micah Parsons was already recruiting.
Get that shit.
Micah Parsons is already recruiting.
Tyreek would have to be the dumbest human on the planet to go to that team.
That's not the biggest if, but I mean, yeah, I guess.
Now CD and him would be great, but
it'd be ridiculous.
I know, but the amount of faith they got in Dak is ridiculous. It's absurd. It's like that's the only team that we look at and we go, no, they're definitely not good enough. And no, they're definitely not going to make one fucking change. They're going to double down on everything that they've fucking done.
But out of all these teams,
Kansas City.
That's where you think?
No.
I wouldn't be shocked. I think he'd have the most fun in Houston.
I think he'd have a lot of fun in Houston now.
The receivers in that, I mean, I don't know. They just seem to like the...
Now, coming off the slump. You call it slump.
But CJ had a sophomore slump.
A less productive year than
CJ Stroud was in a sophomore slump.
Yes.
Is still in a sophomore slump.
Yes.
Sorry.
Still in the playoffs.
Yeah, he still made the playoffs. He made the playoffs in a sophomore slump. I mean, I'll give it to him. Yeah.
One more game.
I love CJ.
Did they win 10? 11? 10.
Max 10. 10 and 7.
Same amount of games.
What were you saying?
One more game. I can't remember.
I like Houston. I won't be shocked if it's Kansas City, but I really like the idea of Houston with or without Diggs. I mean, I think it'd be cool if they could get Diggs on something team friendly and bring over Tyreek. I mean, that's if we're gonna bounce back from a sophomore slump. Give me a healthy Diggs and fucking Tyreek.
You think they can afford Diggs and him? Now, what about this? You think that they could give up Nico and keep Diggs?
Don't give nobody up. We're not giving receivers up here. Well,
I mean, if there's a trade,
this ain't the NBA. We're not just swapping here. I do think
that is true. A lot of NFL trades have just been.
I mean, here's the thing.
8th round picks.
We can sit here and talk about like, oh, will teams be able to afford it, or like, are we gonna pretend like teams don't figure it out every year with their money? I mean, they figure it out.
No, for sure.
If Houston wanted Tyreek that bad, they'd figure it out. Their accountant would get right on it. They'd be okay.
Granted, Tyreek's at the will of Miami.
Yep.
So now, in recent,
no, go ahead.
In recent times, I mean, seems like when a player wants to be traded, this isn't a Pat Riley situation. We're not going to suspend you and do this. We're going to send you off to
you can't.
About where you want to be. But
okay, well, I was going to ask you if Miami wanted to screw Tyreek Hill, worst destination out of all 32 teams, where's the worst place they could send him?
The Jets.
Jets are on my mind. Raiders.
But the Raiders might be in turnaround.
The Jags. Just kept him in Florida.
The Jags are going to be in a turnaround with Trevor Lawrence next year.
Yeah.
I mean, Trev's a good quarterback.
Oh, get the fuck... Now all of a sudden you're on the Trevor Lawrence hype train?
I'm not on the Trevor Lawrence hype train, but he's better than whatever the Jets are going to have next year.
You sound like the conductor right now. You sound like...
I don't think he's worth $55 million a year.
But Dak is? I mean, what are we talking about?
No.
I mean, that's
None of
just
those dudes are.
that's just the way. The Saints. That's the worst. That's the worst.
You don't think the Saints are going to turn out?
No, bro. You send bro to the Saints because he's going to catch half his passes from Derek Carr, half of them, and then half of them from like Taysom Hill. Or no, 25% Taysom Hill, 25% Derek Carr. Spencer Rattler's probably going to come in halfway through the year.
Tyreek's going to be throwing half of them.
Tyreek might throw some footballs. The possibilities are endless. Devin, can I ask you a question? I just have one simple question for you. Do you know who Draya Michelle is?
Who?
Draya Michelle.
Draya Michelle.
Draya Michelle. Do you know who Draya Michelle is? It's just simple yes or no.
I wish I did know.
Okay.
Sounds cool.
All right.
I feel like I may have heard the name.
So she is a model, actress, fashion designer.
Did she date somebody?
So Draya Michelle is currently in a relationship with NBA superstar Jalen Green.
Okay, then I was wrong.
Okay.
Sure, yes.
Normal, right? NBA basketball player, model, right?
Happens.
Okay.
Often.
And the next thing, not even that crazy to me. Like, not even that crazy, right? She's 39. He's 22.
22, yeah.
Okay. All right, now look.
39. I feel like she dated someone way back then because she's old.
Right? Okay, so it's like, look, everybody's got their preferences. Everybody's got their, because I'm not going to lie, right away, people, Bill Belichick. It's like, no, Bill's a weirdo.
No, Bill is
a sicko.
Granted, I always bring this up when we talk about, not on here, but when I talk about Bill, it's like, if you're 70, however old Bill is, if you're that fucking old, and you have 70-year-old fucking Meredith, who's wrinkled to God knows what, and then you got a woman who will hang out with you and do your dishes, and all you gotta do is buy her nice stuff.
Either way,
and you have millions of dollars.
Either way, it's pretty cuckish. By Bill. I mean, Bill is. There's no way he's getting anything out of this. Like, he's not.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't believe.
No, it's incredibly disgusting. Honestly, it's a 50+ year.
But to me,
it's gross.
But you would think Bill probably has grandchildren. The age of right? So what if I told you that Draya Michelle's kid was 22 years old?
Is or was?
No, he's 23 now. 22-year-old son she has. Draya Michelle is dating a man that is the same age as her kid. Devin, she recently came out and said that she is pregnant. She is having a kid with Jalen Green.
Oh, no.
So, you got a 39-year-old model, actress, fashion designer with 22-year-old Jalen Green. And he's got a kid on the way and a 22-year-old stepson.
Oh, wait, his stepson's older than him, bro?
Bro, do you not... I don't know if things are clicking yet. She's dating somebody and having a kid with somebody the same age as her son. She is having a kid and dating somebody the same age as her son. Now look.
I get it. It's gross. Look, I definitely get it. Now it's not out of the realm of possibility or the realm of the human mind. But
if she didn't have a kid, I'd look at this way less weird. Bro,
it is weird that
you can't be attracted to people that's the age of your kids, even once they hit, if they're 22, 30, 40. Like, bro, that's fucking weird, bro. It's just weird. It's just weird. Are you going to sit here and act like it isn't weird and justify it? Well, I mean, like, no.
I'm not justifying it.
And for the kid, bro, it's the kid.
Your statement, you can't be attracted to someone the same age as your kids.
You can't, dude. You can't. And then you can't have kids with them. You can't. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? I mean, and the kid's going to have a dad and a brother the same age. His dad and brother are going to be the same fucking age. Bro, it is so weird.
Now,
It's so
This
weird.
to me just immediately gives me Larsa vibes, Larsa Pippen. Like just gross. Like you babysat a kid and now you're fucking him. Like it's kind of disgusting.
But it's just like.
But no, yeah.
Look,
it's gross.
I know people are getting backlash for like commenting on it, but
I mean, there has to be
I think, but like people are using like, "Ooh, Bill Belichick." No, Bill's weird.
No, it's weird.
Bill's
no, it's not normal.
And if
like,
Bill was impregnating,
shouldn't
if Bill was having
normalize.
babies with this chick, imagine if Bill was having babies with this chick, we would be freaking out.
DiCaprio's still out here fucking 18-year-olds.
DiCaprio is a weirdo.
Exactly.
You're not gonna catch me with a double standard. I'm not gonna play this double standard game.
No, they're all weird.
Look, if you want to go 25 minutes ago and say, "Oh, but Skip Bayless," that's a whole other ballpark of lawsuits and this and that. This is a relationship that's in our face, and we're seeing it full force. This is what's going on. There's consenting adults in a relationship. That's okay. That's normal, right? But then you're fucking someone the same age as your kid, having kids with that person, and to be honest with you, what is Jalen Green gonna do 15 years from now? Keep fucking some 55-year-old chick because he has a 15-year-old kid? I mean, what are we doing, bro?
And a 37-year-old kid?
And a 37-year-old stepson? Like, what? It's weird, bro. It's weird.
This is like a naive young man with a lot of money who I don't know if he's excited about this or not. And to each his own. He can
and I'm
do
saying,
whatever
like,
he
bro,
pleases. But no, it's fucking.
And it's
weird.
funny.
It's weird to have a kid who's same age as the human that you're fucking.
Like, I'm making jokes like, "Oh, you're gonna have a dad and brother." It's like, at the end of the day, at this point, like, all right, well, they're having a kid, so hopefully the kid's healthy and everything's good, and he's everything's cool. But talk about the fucking relationship. The shit is weird, Devin.
No, it's weird.
The shit is just weird. I think, like, if there's a world where it's two celebrities and there's a 17-year age gap and they're both consenting adults, all right, something happens and they have they hook up. Hey, I hooked up with this person. Cool, whatever. To get in a full force relationship and to have a kid the same age as the kid I keep saying kid because it's like kid, bro. You're 40 dating a 22. Get me off this podcast, bro. I need to get off this pod. I need to. I just don't get it.
Today's been rough.
I don't get it, bro. I don't understand.
No.
I don't understand. All this weird shit that's going on.
Yeah, no, I don't get. Yeah, I don't get the having a child, just because it's like your lives are completely different when you're damn near 20 years apart. Like, he is a rising star in the NBA, and this is a 40-year-old woman.
We're talking 8 years from being 30, 8 years from menopause.
I don't know when menopause starts. I don't want to ask either.
Trust me, by 47, it's kicking in.
Nice.
I mean, you quick Google search and you can figure out it's gonna kick in by 47. But I guess to transition into something else, do you want to give your final MVP votes today, or do you want to hold off till next episode? Because
Yeah, we'll hold it off.
Because that will be the final tally. That'll be the final hour. We will be giving our MVP.
I think we should have a good long segment.
Yeah, we're going to look back on we're going to go through all the placements and see who
and the weekly placements, why they're there. Go through it a little bit.
Well, I mean,
not all of them.
I was going to say I think we did that week by week, and
for sure.
I think that's truly
just a little recap of things.
I think that's what makes our MVP so, like, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, all these voters are not thinking about what happened in September and October.
Nope.
No,
it's stats and its narrative and its legacy and everything else.
Week by week, we said these were the three most valuable players.
Like the week when they faced off against each other.
And every week we made it fair and gave every player a vote for top 3 in MVP ranks.
And it sucks that like Lamar gets penalized for beating Josh Allen in week 4.
Yeah, so if he beats him,
it's like if they play right now, it's the Bills are for sure winning. It's like no, they already played.
Yeah, they already
and
played.
NFL games are supposed to mean the same thing in September that they do in January.
Yeah,
so
well, either way,
it still counts. Oh, it was earlier in the season. They didn't have everything figured out yet. Well, they had figured out the weeks before when they beat the brakes off of Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, they had it figured out, except for
Butt
Baltimore.
Butt munch.
So we will hold off on MVP votes. So with that being said, Devin, we talked Aaron Rodgers, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Jalen Green's personal life, some injuries, some crazy shit going on in Fox Sports. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Peace and love. Don't be doing weird shit out here. It's 2025 now.
Yeah. Yeah. First episode of 2025 too. That's what this is.
Spectacular.
This is our first. Yeah. This is our
No.
Second. Second episode of the year. It feels like a new year. It didn't feel like a new year last episode.
It did not.
It feels like a new year. Either way, with all that being said, hopefully you all enjoyed the episode of On It. We will be back next episode to predict the wild card round of the playoffs, to give our final MVP votes for the season, to talk about all these other things going on, some free agents, some NBA. We got plenty to talk about. Brand new episodes every Tuesday and Saturday. We will be back on Saturday for more. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.
Bye.